We walked the halls of PCA together, learned the focusing approach from Mr. Lee, sang the school song, laughed, cried, and moved on to the next chapter of our lives. But once a lion, always a lion. Thanks for making time to re-engage with your PCA family. We want to know what God is doing in and through your life. I'm Alex Bellamy, class of 2006 and Director of Alumni Relations. Welcome to another episode of our alumni podcast, Life Talk.
All right, we are here with Chelsea Cunningham Paterson. She is a graduate from the class of 2009. And we're here just to kind of talk about life after PCA.
I love when we introduce alumni who are married, right? Because I know you as Chelsea Cunningham,
Yes.
right? But she's Chelsea Paterson.
She is.
So we just throw them all in there together.
We do. I mean, it helps people remember, right?
I did move my last name to my middle name when I got married, so it really is Chelsea Cunningham Paterson. So.
Great.
Brilliant.
We actually,
that's
so
actually
I got
her
you.
name. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. And I love the class of 09, by the way.
It's a good group.
Yes.
It's a great group.
Might be the best group that went through the school. I'm just saying, there's a lot of 09 graduates that are just doing life really well.
They are.
Right? Chelsea's one of them.
Yep.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. So you're back, you're walking the halls here.
Yes.
You're actually a mom now.
I am.
Of a PCA student. Not that we want to start there,
yes.
but it is kind of funny, right, that it's kind of come full circle for you.
It really has. It's really amazing to have your firstborn start going to school. She's in pre-K 3 right now, where I graduated from.
And when did you start here at PCA? How old were you?
I was started 9th through 12th grade.
Okay.
So that's when I attended Prestonwood and graduated in 09, like you said. It was, the school wasn't quite as big back then. It's actually grown amazingly, and so...
but you were over here, right?
Yes, I was over here on this side.
The high school building was here, the upper school building was here.
the upper school building was here.
Right. There's a few people that are older than you. We won't mention any names.
I did get 1 year in this building.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, 2005, 2006.
Because I remember you were over at the church for some of that.
A long time.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Yeah.
All those stairs.
All those stairs.
No one else will ever know.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
No. So you came over for your high school time?
I did. I attended Shelton in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I had dyslexia, and that's when Prestonwood shared a building with Shelton back then. And I went to church here at Prestonwood, and just seeing my friends at church and seeing the students walk the halls when I went to the same building as them, it's just... I could see their walk with Christ, and I really wanted to be a part of that. And so I asked my mom, can we figure out a way to go to Prestonwood, PCA?
Yeah. So school was a struggle for you then?
It was, yes. And Prestonwood actually had a really great system called Learning Lab, where it's really helped me with my dyslexia. Also, my younger brother went here, and he also has dyslexia. And so...
we are not going to talk about Cody, because he will want us to talk about him.
We'll just have to do another podcast.
We'll have to do another podcast. But he ended up marrying a PCA alum as well.
He did, yes.
Right. I remember he ran track at Baylor.
He did, yes. He ran track at Baylor. He was very fast.
Yes.
And so
he's a sweet kid.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, but we won't talk about him.
Yeah.
Talk about you. Focus on that. So what do you remember most about your time at PCA?
I think I remember the relationships. It's really a family here. I loved being able to talk about the Lord with my teachers, my fellow classmates, and just grow in that and grow in my faith and become stronger. So that way when I left here, I felt better equipped to share my testimony and be able to walk in his faith.
Yeah. When you left here, where did you go?
I went to Baylor.
Okay.
So not too far away. I graduated from Baylor in 2013, and I actually was really inspired by Mrs. Gravitt, Melody Gravitt, who's a teacher here, to become a science teacher. I had a science degree from Baylor, and I used that to become a middle school and high school science teacher. And I observed in her classroom.
Oh, that's so neat.
I know, it was so great to come back and just to be in her room as an adult and not just her student. So
that's awesome. I don't think her room has changed either. So
no, it's one of Mel's one of the.
She's one of the great ones.
Yeah,
she really is.
She's awesome.
She was my teacher too. So she's been here for a very long time.
That really says something when someone wants to stay in a place for that long.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
Now, when you were here, PCA was still like a financial struggle for your family, though, too. You had a single mom that put you guys both through.
Yes. So we were very fortunate. Prestonwood had the Sponsor a Lion program, and we were able to obtain funding through that so I could go to school here. If it weren't for that, I probably wouldn't have been here. Had a different path. Yeah. So I'm very thankful for that program and everything that it gave to me.
Yeah, a lot of people investing in the lives of other students, not just their own. So, yeah, very generous community that we have.
Very.
Which is awesome. Yeah. What else do you remember about walking the halls at PCA? You cheered.
I did. I kind of did a little bit of everything. I played volleyball. I did varsity basketball for a little bit. I cheered. Alex was one of my cheer coaches back in the day.
A very young cheer coach at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
Appreciate that.
You came to school, and sometimes people dread coming to school, but it just felt like coming to another home.
Yeah.
It was a great experience, a great time to be able to come, and I loved having Bible classes along with my core classes to learn about different faiths and learn how to strengthen your faith. It was really just an amazing time of life.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think has been kind of the biggest part of your like you growing in your faith since you've left PCA? Like what are some things that you've done just as a young woman, now a new mom, right, that you've really kind of grown in your faith?
One thing, the Lord, I feel like, has found me at different times of life and to use me where I am at each stage of life. And being a young mom right now, I felt called to walk alongside other young moms, and I joined MOPS, or Mothers of Preschoolers, now MomCo, at the location that I went to was at Park Cities Baptist Church, and I was on leadership there for a few years, and last year I coordinated it, and just it's just a great time. There's Christian moms and non-Christian moms, and just having us all together, listening to Christian speakers, and just coming together in fellowship to meet each other where we are in life.
So important as a young mom just to have that community around you.
Well, what about just words of wisdom to your 09ers out there? Because they're going to look at the Chelsea, Cunningham, Paterson name, and they're going to say, oh, I want to listen to that. Do you keep up with some of them?
I keep up with a few.
Okay.
One is Mallory. She's actually, I believe, an art teacher here right now.
Oh, yeah.
And she and I still keep up from time to time. A few of my closer friends at the time have moved out of state, but I run into a few of the moms who have their kids in lower school.
Yep.
And I would just say to them that, it's great coming back. It's great coming back home. And that, the time that we all spent here was really meaningful. Really helped to lead me where I am today.
Yeah, I always think about when we think about the success, right, of a school. You really can't measure, I believe, and we've heard this said, for years, but you really can't measure the success of a school in terms of the students. We think about like, well, where did you go to college? I'm like, well, that's not really the success of a school where they went to college. It's what did they do with their lives? And so really it's kind of about your age is when you can kind of look at and assess, are the things that you planted in the students really, right, bearing fruit, right, in their lives? And so it really is, looking at your life and saying, look where God has you, right, and your walk with the Lord and your family, that just such a blessing for this particular school, saying this is what success looks like. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you. Now, you're married. Tell us a little bit about the family.
I'm married. I met my husband, Luke Paterson, after college at a wedding of a mutual friend who actually graduated from PCA.
Okay.
He and his wife were both alumni, and we met at their wedding, and we got married in 2016. And we have a daughter, Alexis, who's in pre-K 3, and I have a son who'll be 2 in the spring, and then one on the way due in July. So. He works in commercial real estate. I have been a teacher for 7 or 8 years, and currently at home with the kids, just raising little believers.
Yeah, I love that. And then how did you find the classroom? Like when you went into the classroom as a teacher,
Yes.
what did you think about that?
Like here with Melody.
Yeah.
It was just great to see how much her students just loved her and saw her as a teacher, but also as a leader that they could ask questions about their faith. And one thing I loved about teaching science and science in general is you can find God in science.
Yes.
And so I loved being able, when I was teaching, to teach about faith integrated into science.
It's like one of the easier subjects to integrate faith into, because
Yes.
science it just means knowledge, right? But it's the knowledge of God's creation. So it's
Yes.
right. And we talk about how God's creation points to Him. So as you learn more about science, it goes back to the designer, the creator. And,
Exactly.
Right. Science will tell you what, but it doesn't tell you why, and that's where the Christian part comes in. It's right. God reveals His why through His Word. So it's a beautiful picture. You put those things together, and it's a great place. I feel bad for kids who are taking science right in public school classrooms, right? Because they miss all that, right? They miss the behind the scenes, the orchestration of everything. So it's a great place to learn science. People think science and faith are separate, and you're like, nope, they're not. They really do go hand in hand.
Yeah, you really do.
It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. So what else for Chelsea?
I mean, tell us about, mini mester is one of the things that we talk about a lot with alumni. So tell us a little bit about your mini mester trips while you were here.
Yes. One of my mini mester trips, I believe it was sophomore year, we went to Mexico, and we went to an orphanage in Mexico. We were bused down there, and we spent almost, I think, a week loving on orphans and just getting to see their life, what it was like there. And it was just really eye-opening to be able to go from Dallas, Texas, to where they were and just see what they didn't have and what that they did have, how appreciative they were. And it's just a great opportunity as a sophomore in high school to be able to see just like a different place and just how fortunate we are, and to be able to witness to them and just love on them. I believe another year I went to Abilene, where we worked with people who had
Special needs,
yes, special needs adults.
Still doing that
Still
trip?
do that one,
Yeah.
yes. And so it was just another opportunity to see another way of life and just like how to come alongside them and love them and help them. And then for my senior year, I was able to go to New York, which was really fun. We went with Mr. Rutherford, and we saw some really great musicals and just had a really great time with our fellow students. That was kind of my year to pick a trip that was a little more fun.
You can say it. You're right.
Yeah.
Less service-oriented,
yes.
less ministry-oriented, but a little bit of fun.
Yes.
It's all good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then another year, I think I interned, and I interned with some surgeons watching some surgeries. So.
Cool.
That's really cool. Another science-based
Yes,
thing.
yes. I've always been interested in science. I think Miss Gravitt kind of started that for me,
So cool.
And it's been really great to pursue that.
That's awesome. And you spent a couple years teaching
Yes.
before you stayed home with your children.
Yes.
So how did you take what you learned here at PCA, watching Ms. Gravitt, the things that you learned at Baylor? What was your experience in the classroom?
I taught in both public and private school, so I got to kind of see both sides of things. Both was very unique because if a student was to talk to me in public school about their faith, I could speak with them about it, but otherwise I couldn't really talk about my faith with them. In private school, I taught at Trinity Christian Academy at the time, and it was just great to be able to pray with your students, be able to find ways as we were teaching biology to integrate faith into that and how God was involved in all of that. I loved being able to pray with my students, just like I could pray with my teachers here at Prestonwood. I could come to them about school things, but also about personal things. It was just really great to be able to see them as family and not just an educator, and be able to be poured into on all aspects of life with them.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
good. Can I ask a personal question?
Yes, absolutely.
so you have a learning difference.
Yes.
But before we were talking about reading, and like you enjoy reading.
I do love reading.
So that's kind of
I'm
interesting.
in a book club. I love reading.
Okay, so because a lot of people with learning differences really struggle with reading, but yet you really enjoy it. Is that something that's kind of grown over the years, or have you always really enjoyed it, but you just kind of pushed through it?
I actually couldn't read till I was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
I really struggled with reading. I had severe dyslexia. I still have it. It doesn't go away. I learned at Shelton through one of their programs how to read and write, and I just devoured books and the Bible, and people would joke with me at school and that, did you have a Bible in your backpack, or what books did you have today? And I was proud. I'd say, well, I don't, but it's at home. I love to read, and reading God's Word, reading Christian fiction, reading anything. So, and then at Prestonwood here through the Learning Lab, I was able to also continue to be successful in my education.
Yeah. That's so awesome. So what would you say are the top 2 or 3 most influential books that have helped kind of shape your walk with the Lord?
Well, other than the Bible, I really enjoy this one book called The Art of Gathering.
Okay.
And we're actually currently reading it in our book club, so I can't say for sure if it's going to be one of the most influential, but I've really enjoyed how this book has helped to show that, when you go somewhere, it's also about the mindset. And you could be in a busy part of your day, but you want to be purposeful with the people you're meeting with and the purpose. And it's kind of like always being on the lookout for people to share the Lord with, or being present where you are. And I think that in the busy time of age and just stage of life, it's something good to be reminded of. So still reading that, so open to that one. But another one I really loved by Francine Rivers, it's called Mark of the Lion. It is Christian fiction, but it's the story of Jerusalem and how it fell. And it's just a really inspiring book. But those are some of my favorite ones.
I know a lot of people who are big Francine Rivers
yes,
fans.
Yes.
Right.
I actually have it in my car right now.
there
I
you
read
go.
it.
Oh, yes. It's so good.
I was gifted it at Christmas, and I had read it when I was in high school. And so, it's just an easy read when I'm sitting at tumbling practice or something. So, those are the kind of books that I go to when I have downtime.
So good. So good. Yeah. As a mom, you're busy, right?
Yes.
But it's always nice to make time for yourself to just improve, on you as a mom, as a wife, and just as an individual. So I'm glad you're still doing that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Very good. Any other questions for Chelsea?
Well, I do kind of. What has your experience been? Now, you have a student enrolled here, and we call you guys the blue and golds. So,
Does she know that? Do you
know that?
That's what we
No.
call you.
That's what we call you. We have 79 alumni kids enrolled this year, which is our biggest number yet. And so
awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then there are 42 alumni families. So a couple of our alumni are married, but 42 alumni have now brought their kids back to PCA. And so just what was that like for you when you went through the re-enrollment process, figuring out, my kid's going to be here. I got to graduate from here. To me, that's a really special moment. So I just wanted to know kind of like your thoughts, your experiences. I mean, all the things this year, the homecoming parade, all the memories that you might have had that your whole family now gets to experience. So just from your perspective, what has that meant to you?
It's been really special. We, as a family, came to the lower school night to the football game, and you had coached my little girl earlier this summer at a little cheer camp, and she got to cheer on the football field, and we got to watch her, and my mom came, and it was just really sweet being able to all come back and watch that and see her out there like I had been, and just cheer her on. And it was just really a memorable moment because I had been out there, and just seeing her now and just coming full circle with that. And then just we really prayed about she's 3, starting pre-K 3, and where to send her and what to do. And we just really felt like Prestonwood was just such a great fit, just having teachers to walk alongside her, to love on her. And I had such an amazing time here, and just was loved on here, and just knew that it was going to be a safe and an amazing place for her too. And everyone has been so sweet and kind, and it's just been like, coming back from college, going back home, like we're here now, So it's just been a really great opportunity, and being able to, she has other classmates that I went to school with, who were alumni with, and seeing their kids, and that they're playing together and having play dates and in class, and it's just been really amazing to see that, Prestonwood was such a big impact on us that we want to send our own children here now too, and entrusting them with our kids.
That's awesome.
Well, that's super sweet.
It is.
It's kind of nice.
I mean, that's the full
does,
circle.
Yeah, and it does remind me of how quickly it goes, right? Because, I remember you two ladies in high school, and now your kids are here. So it's kind of crazy.
5.5 years left with my oldest here.
Oh, my goodness.
It really does go by fast.
Yeah, let's not put dates and years on things.
Sorry.
I was just talking about so your daughter is
Yes.
pre-K 3.
Yes.
So she could be the class of 2040.
Whoa.
I know. It just seems like,
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, ooh, okay,
Wow.
that's just weird. But it's awesome. So to go from the class of 09
Talk
to the
about
class
dates
of
on
2040.
things.
I know. I'm sorry. I know. Let's not put them on there, but here I am throwing them out there. So anyway, but we're thrilled to have, the Paterson family here. We're thrilled to have you here.
Yes.
And you left a legacy, right? While you were a student, you did a great job. And now, right, as a mom returning, with your family, it's just a blessing to have you as a part of the PCA family.
Well, we're excited and happy to be here.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Life Talk. I pray that God is doing something amazing in your life, and I want to make sure that we stay connected. Check out the show notes below for more information. Remember, you are loved by a good God. Be blessed and walk in a manner worthy of His calling. Until next time.